Imagine standing in the midst of sun-scorched fields in Sonora, Mexico, in 1944. The air is thick with dust and despair as farmers look over their dying crops plagued by disease. Wheat rust, a relentless fungus, has taken hold, leaving fields barren and hope dwindling. Into this scene of agricultural crisis steps an unlikely hero, Norman Borlaug, an American agronomist fresh from the fertile plains of Iowa. Borlaug arrived in Mexico at a time when the country's agricultural output was faltering. Wheat yields were perilously low, and the food supply was at risk. The Mexican government, recognizing the gravity of the situation, sought international expertise to combat the crisis. It was here, in the challenging environment of Sonora, that Borlaug set up his base of operations, equipped not with weapons, but with seeds and a vision for change. He knew that to fight the scourge of wheat rust, he needed to breed a new type of wheat, one that could withstand the disease and thrive in Mexico's harsh conditions. Borlaug's approach was innovative for the time. He implemented a method known as shuttle breeding, planting crops in diverse locations to accelerate the growth cycle and develop disease resistance more rapidly. His work was not without challenges. The fields were unforgiving and progress was often slow. Yet Borlaug's determination was unwavering. He spent long days in the field, cross-breeding thousands of wheat strains, searching for that perfect hybrid. Little did he know that these painstaking efforts would lay the groundwork for what would later be called the Green Revolution. As the seasons changed, so did the fortunes of the fields. Slowly, the wheat began to show signs of resilience. By focusing on developing rust-resistant strains, Borlaug not only aimed to save Mexico's crops, but was unknowingly setting the stage for a global agricultural transformation. Imagine standing in a sun-drenched field in Mexico in the late 1950s, surrounded by golden waves of wheat. Yet this isn't just any wheat. This is the result of years of relentless effort and the dawn of a new era in agriculture. Norman Borlaug had finally achieved a breakthrough: disease-resistant, high-yield wheat varieties. The fields that once struggled against rust and blight now stood strong, a testament to Borlaug's ingenuity. Initially, these miraculous crops were met with skepticism. Critics doubted that such success could be replicated on a larger scale or in different environments, but the numbers spoke louder than any doubt. Mexico's wheat production didn't just improve, it soared. The yield quintupled, transforming the country's agricultural landscape and bringing newfound food security to its people. This astonishing success couldn't remain a secret for long. As word spread of Mexico's agricultural boom, other nations, grappling with food shortages and crop failures, began to take notice. Borlaug's methods offered a beacon of hope, a potential solution to the pressing problem of feeding a rapidly growing world population. This was the beginning of what came to be known as the Green Revolution, an era where science and agriculture met to redefine food production across the globe. Borlaug's wheat wasn't just a crop, it was a catalyst, a promise of a world where hunger could be fought with innovation and perseverance. And so, the seeds of the Green Revolution were sown, not just in the fertile fields of Mexico, but in the minds of scientists and policymakers around the world. They saw the potential for change and, inspired by Borlaug's success, began to dream of a future where no one would go hungry again. The impact of this would soon ripple across continents, but that is a story yet to unfold. Imagine standing in the sweltering heat of an Indian field in 1965. The air is thick with desperation as millions face the grim specter of famine. India, a nation teetering on the brink of disaster, sought help beyond its borders. Enter Norman Borlaug, the agronomist whose work in Mexico had already sparked whispers of hope. He was recruited by the Indian government, a lifeline in their hour of need. Borlaug arrived in India at a time when hunger was not just a fear, but an impending reality. The political landscape was tense, with leaders under immense pressure to prevent mass starvation. Logistical nightmares loomed, from inadequate infrastructure to the daunting task of transporting seeds across vast, diverse landscapes. Yet, against these odds, Borlaug remained undeterred. He saw his wheat not just as a crop, but as an instrument of survival. His mission was clear: introduce high-yield wheat varieties that had already shown promise in Mexico. These strains were not only resilient, but capable of producing significantly more grain per acre. With determination, Borlaug and his team worked tirelessly, often in grueling conditions, to plant these seeds of change. The stakes were high, the challenges numerous, but failure was not an option. The results were nothing short of miraculous. Crop production soared, and fields once barren blossomed with golden wheat. The specter of famine began to recede, replaced by a burgeoning sense of hope. India had not just dodged a disaster, it had taken a monumental step towards self-sufficiency in food production. Borlaug's intervention had not only averted a crisis, but had laid the groundwork for a revolution in agricultural practices. This chapter in India's history marks a pivotal moment when science and sheer human will combined to change the destiny of millions. And for Borlaug, it was a testament to the power of perseverance and innovation in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. As India began to stabilize, the world watched closely, ready to learn and adapt these lessons on a global scale. Now imagine you're in Pakistan in 1966. The air is thick with anticipation and uncertainty. Just across the border, India has witnessed a transformation that seemed impossible a few years earlier. And now it's Pakistan's turn to face the specter of famine. The fields are parched, and food shortages loom menacingly over the horizon. But amidst this crisis, a figure emerges with a promise of hope: Norman Borlaug. Fresh from his remarkable success in India, Borlaug arrives in Pakistan, armed with the same determination and innovative techniques that had turned the tide in India's favor. He knows the stakes are high. The country's wheat production is barely enough to sustain its burgeoning population, and something drastic must be done. Borlaug's challenge is formidable: to replicate his Indian triumph in a different environment with its unique challenges. Borlaug introduces his high-yield, disease-resistant wheat varieties. But it's not just about seeds. It's about changing the very fabric of agricultural practice in Pakistan. His methods entail improvements in irrigation, the use of fertilizers, and the timing of planting, all to maximize crop yields. Borlaug conducts field trials, collaborates with local agronomists, and educates farmers on the ground. The results, much like in India, are nothing short of revolutionary. Within just a few years, Pakistan's wheat production doubles. Fields that once seemed unable to produce enough are now teeming with life. The threat of famine, which had once cast a long shadow over the nation, begins to dissipate. Pakistan is not only feeding its people, but also moving towards an era of agricultural self-sufficiency. This success in Pakistan does more than just feed a nation. It solidifies Borlaug's methods as adaptable and effective across diverse environments. The lessons learned here will echo far beyond the borders of Pakistan, influencing global agricultural strategies for decades to come. And as you stand in those lush, revived fields, you realize that a single discovery, when wielded with passion and purpose, truly has the power to save 1 billion lives. Imagine standing in Oslo, Norway in 1970, where the air is crisp with anticipation. You've come to witness a momentous occasion, the awarding of the Nobel Peace Prize. Yet this isn't for a diplomat or a politician, but for a man whose weapon is wheat. Norman Borlaug, a humble agricultural scientist, steps forward to receive the prestigious prize. His groundbreaking work in revolutionizing global food production, now recognized as a cornerstone of peace. Borlaug's achievements have transcended mere agriculture. His innovative breeding techniques, which sparked the Green Revolution, have brought hope to nations teetering on the brink of starvation. By exponentially increasing crop yields, Borlaug has not only staved off famine, but has also diminished one of the world's oldest catalysts for conflict: food scarcity. This achievement is more than a shift in farming. It is a shift in human peace and stability. As Borlaug accepts the Nobel Peace Prize, the audience understands the larger implications of his work. The connection between agricultural abundance and geopolitical stability becomes glaringly clear. When people are fed, tensions ease, and societies have the chance to thrive. Borlaug's methods are no longer seen as merely agricultural innovations, but as vital tools for fostering peace. The award catapults Borlaug and the importance of agricultural science onto the international stage. It brings global attention to the necessity of continued innovation in farming techniques to support a rapidly growing population. Borlaug's accolade serves as a clarion call to the world. Feeding the hungry is not just an agricultural imperative, but a moral and strategic necessity. And in this moment, you realize that sometimes the seeds of change are quite literal, and their growth can be the difference between war and peace. But as the 1980s dawned, a shadow began to creep over the bright landscape of Norman Borlaug's Green Revolution. You find yourself in a world where the triumphs of agriculture face new scrutiny. Criticisms emerge, challenging the very foundations of Borlaug's methods. His innovations, which had been celebrated for saving countless lives, are now questioned for their environmental and social impacts. By now, millions rely on Borlaug's high-yield crop varieties. Yet a growing chorus of voices warns about the dangers of over-reliance on chemical fertilizers. These fertilizers, once seen as miracle solutions, are blamed for degrading the soil and polluting water sources. The question rises: at what cost do we feed the world? Debates also rage over the erosion of traditional farming practices. In regions that had embraced Borlaug's high-tech approach, age-old agricultural customs begin to vanish. Critics argue that this loss threatens the cultural heritage and resilience of rural communities. The Green Revolution, they claim, has become a double-edged sword. These concerns bring the concept of sustainable agriculture to the fore. Environmentalists and scientists alike urge for a balance between high-yield techniques and ecological preservation. They call for methods that protect biodiversity and maintain soil health while still meeting global food demands. Yet, as these debates intensify, Borlaug remains steadfast. He acknowledges these challenges, but warns against romanticizing the past at the expense of feeding a hungry future. His work, he argues, was never meant to be an end but a beginning, a foundation upon which more sustainable practices could be built. In this turbulent era, you see how Borlaug's legacy is being tested. The world grapples with finding harmony between innovation and tradition. The seeds of change that once promised unyielding hope now sow complex questions, and the answers remain as elusive as ever. Imagine standing in a vast field of golden wheat, swaying gently under a sunlit sky. This scene, emblematic of abundance, is a testament to the life's work of Norman Borlaug, a man whose impact on the world is both profound and enduring. In 2009, the world bid farewell to Borlaug, but his legacy lives on in every grain harvested, in every life saved from the brink of starvation. Borlaug's agricultural innovations, which included developing high-yield crop varieties, have been credited with saving over 1 billion lives. It's a staggering number, almost incomprehensible, yet it underscores the magnitude of his contribution to humanity. His work prevented famines that could have devastated entire populations, ensuring that millions had the nourishment needed to survive and thrive. Today, Borlaug's legacy is not just a historical footnote, it's a living force. It continues to inspire a new generation of scientists, policymakers, and farmers committed to tackling the ever-daunting challenges of global food security. As climate change poses new threats and populations continue to grow, the need to innovate and adapt Borlaug's methods becomes even more urgent. His vision of a world where no one goes hungry serves as a guiding light in these efforts. Borlaug once said that the destiny of world civilization depends upon providing a decent standard of living for all mankind. His work laid a crucial foundation toward this goal. The challenges are complex, the solutions not always clear-cut, yet the spirit of his innovations endures. As we forge ahead, Borlaug's legacy reminds us that the power to change the world often starts with a single determined individual willing to plant the seeds of hope.